Welcome to the Space and Grace podcast. I am your host, Tanisha Harris, and here at Space and Grace, we focus on healing, laughing, thriving, and loving. And we do that by granting ourselves and others the space and grace to evolve in very practical ways. I hope y'all are ready. Let's do it. Hello to everyone, and welcome back to the Space and Grace podcast. So, what are we talking about today? I was thinking about what I wanted to record, and I have all these thoughts written down. I even have scripts, y'all, that I've already typed up. And so I was kind of going through them to see what really resonated with me because I really try to record episodes that I am currently thinking about, experiencing, or practicing, or things that I have grown through. And so what really stood out to me today was this idea of the quiet struggle. And particularly, you know, to my Black women, because I am a Black woman, why do we struggle quietly? But this episode is for anyone who struggles because we all struggle, regardless of race and gender. We all struggle in some way. And why do we keep that to ourselves? So let's just jump in. When I think about struggling quietly, I think about navigating an emotion or navigating a hardship alone, but not just trying to figure it out by myself, trying to figure it out by myself while seemingly I'm functioning well. I'm still getting up and handling my daily task. I'm still texting my friends. I'm still engaging on social media. I'm laughing at the jokes. I'm attending the events. But there are some struggles, there are some hardships, there are some emotions. And I understand that there are and will always be these opportunities or these hardships or emotions that we may have to learn how to navigate um, in a space within ourselves, right? There's some internal work that needs to be done, but I don't believe that we have to navigate these hardships and emotions specifically alone. I don't believe that we are here on this God given green earth to navigate these quiet struggles alone. And I know I'm not the only one, right? I know I'm not the only one that has or will struggle quietly. And so when you think about some of these struggles, you're thinking about, well, there are certain things that I may not want to share, right? There are some things that, I don't want to bother people. Like that was always my thing. I don't want to bother people. But when you're thinking about some of the quiet struggles, you're thinking about those things in life that happen to you, around you, and there are things that causes you to drain in your emotions. They dip away from the positive emotions. And they're different for everyone because we're all complex individuals. And so when we're thinking about quiet struggling, sometimes we think, oh, well, this is something that maybe my sister would definitely deal with differently, or my best friend is so strong, she could handle this differently. And so then we often think that what we're struggling with isn't worth the emotion or isn't worth the struggle. And that's just not right. It's just not right. When we think about all of our experiences and all of the things that we've been exposed to, all of those things impact our character. They impact our confidence. They impact our strength. They also impact our emotions and they impact um, how we navigate and move through the world. And they're important things. So, if we have acknowledged that we have quietly struggled And if we have acknowledged that we know that some of these struggles are not meant for us to go with it alone, then why don't we share? Why do we keep them quiet? So for me, it's been shame and embarrassment. It's been the idea of this is something that I need to be able to know how to do. Like I should be able to fix this. I should be able to navigate this. Why is this bothering me? It wouldn't bother this person so much. Is there something wrong with me? Why am I not strong enough? All of these things that I'm telling myself only speak to my weakness. And sometimes those weaknesses get the better of us. And I don't think we're supposed to go it alone. So if you have quietly struggled and you have identified that you do feel like you're alone, and there are areas and spaces where you don't want to do it alone, I want to share with you some of the things, some of the solutions or strategies that I have started to do to help me in the quiet struggle. And the first one is journal. Journaling has helped me to be clear about my feelings, about my struggles, how to look at them as indicators, how to identify the gaps that I have, and then also how to identify my strengths to give me an opportunity to get it all out. And then I can dissect what I need. I can pull out what I need about this particular struggle. Why does this bother me? Why do I feel the need to not share? Has there been other experiences in my life that keeps me from sharing this, that makes me embarrassed to ask for help? What societal norm, quote unquote, am I subscribing to that's keeping me from asking for what I need? So, journaling has been extremely helpful for me in this space. Another solution or strategy or tip that has helped me is to really buckle down on a spiritual practice for me. For me, that's prayer. For me, that's studying the Bible for myself. And that's being outside, walking in nature. I have absolutely identified that those things ground me in such a way that when the struggles come, although they may be hard, navigating them is not as difficult. So find your spiritual practice, find what absolutely speaks to your heart and to your soul. Another thing is identifying a trusted friend and identifying a trusted friend that you can walk through life with. They may not have the answer, they may not be able to fix it, and that's not what we really want, anyways. We just want to know that there's someone there to hold our hand as we navigate. Identify that person. Identify the person who you can come to, who allows you to stand in your emotion, but who also knows when it's time to help pull you out. They have a purpose in their friendship. And then last but not least, if y'all know me, you know I'm going to say it. Say it with me. Therapy. Therapy has helped me on so many levels, so much so that it has helped me and all of my intimate and very close relationships around me. I tend to respond to people differently. I tend to think about and consider where a person may have a gap in an area where I have to now extend some of the practices that I've learned. Therapy has helped me to be more self aware. So now I can absolutely identify these struggles. And now I have tips and tools to help me navigate through them. Y'all let me know what you think. You know, I'm not here for the long, drawn out podcast. I like to be able to give you the nuggets and give you the tidbits. So tell me what you think. Have you quietly struggled? Why haven't you shared? And what are some of your practices? And try these. Let me know what you think about them. I want you to know that you are never alone in this space. We are always here. I am always here, and we're in this together. Have a good one, y'all. That wraps up our episode. As always, thank you for listening and sharing your time with me on the Space and Grace podcast. You know, here at Space and Grace, we focus on healing, laughing, thriving, and loving. And you know, we do that by granting ourselves and others the space and grace to evolve in very practical ways. I hope you have heard something that resonated with you, something that challenged you, something that encouraged you, and something that loved you. I want this podcast to serve you well. And if it has, please help me with the following. Subscribe, follow, share the podcast. Leave me a review. Let me know your thoughts, all of them. Send me an audio thought and let me know if you want me to include it in the podcast, or send me an email. And if you have a topic or question you'd like me to talk about, let me know. You can email me at Space and Grace Podcast. Space SPACEAND Grace GRACE podcast at gmail.com. All of this information will be in the show notes. Are y'all ready? Let's do this.